Hello, students. Welcome back. I hope you're doing good. I hope you had a nice Labor Day weekend. I'm sorry that I'm getting this done rather late. Normally, I would have had this done already. I did create the homework assignment earlier, but I did not make the video. I am doing that now, and we'll post the video this evening. And today is September the 7th, 2021, 11:35 a.m. Again, I hope you had a nice weekend. It's a beautiful day today as well. Also, I would like to have a chance where we can get together in way of Zoom so I can get a chance to meet you, not necessarily face to face, but at least get a chance to meet you. Um, it would not be required that you attend, but I hope you would consider coming. All right, so far we've covered um, in Autodesk, we have covered extrusions and we have uh, covered revolutions. Today, we're going to cover what they call the sweep. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Autodesk Inventor. It's going to take a minute for it to come up. Okay. So I'm going to go to New, English, Standard IPT, and Create. All right, so we want to go to Start 2D Sketch. Start 2D Sketch. And we want to select the XY plane. Okay. Now, the thing we're going to model today, you will get a grade for this. Um, so we're going to create a handle, like for a drawer. Um, so once we start to model this, this will look very familiar to you. Um, so again, the first thing we want to do is we want to create a sketch. And I'm going to go up here to line, select line. Now, when I draw this line, I either want to cross over the y-axis or cross over the x-axis. So for this exercise, let's just go ahead and draw a line that crosses over the y-axis. Now, I'll tell you why this is important here in just a minute. But go ahead and let's click somewhere, an arbitrary location, let's say about right here. All right. And notice it's a rubber band effect when you start to move your mouse. Notice that first point is anchored. And I'm going to move my mouse over here to the right. Okay. And I'm going to let this be 5 inches. I'm going to do a right click. Okay. Now, Mr. Morris, I can't see the whole line. All you have to do is rotate your scroll wheel until you see the whole line. So zoom out with your scroll. Now hold the scroll wheel down and pan over like this. Okay. So you can move your axis around. So you can zoom in and zoom out and hold the scroll wheel down. You can pan. Now I'm going to go back to line again here and line. Now watch carefully. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. I'm going to click right there on that endpoint from the previous line. It turns green. Click, and we're going to drag a line downward, and we are going to make this 2.5. We're going to do a right click. Okay, I'm going to zoom out some, pan, hold the scroll wheel down and move your mouse. Go to line, select line again, and then come over here at this endpoint. We're going to click right here on this endpoint, and I'm going to, again, drag a line down some here. And we're going to make this 2.5 inches. Right click. Okay. Now, let's say I want to move this. I haven't shown you how to use this command yet, but that's okay. I want to move this geometry so that this horizontal line is somewhat centered on the y-axis. So go to move, and if you just hold down the left mouse button and drag a rectangle around your geometry like that, and then release your left mouse button, okay, it has selected all the geometry. Then come up here and click on this arrow, and I'm going to click on this point here, and look, I can move my mouse and move this around. We're going to look at this command again a little bit later on, but I wanted to move my geometry so it's more centered on the y-axis. Place it about right there. Done. I'm going to undo that and show you one more time. Go to move. And you notice when this dialog box first comes up, it's asking you to select your geometry. Hold down your left mouse button, and you're going to pull this window, if you will, around your geometry with your mouse. Release your left mouse button and select this arrow here because you want to find a base point, or select a base point rather. Pick this point, and you're going to move your geometry about right there, and then done. Very good. Now what we need to do is I want to show you how to make some modifications. Let's say that I made these lines a little too long here, okay? And if I want to change them, do I have to go back and redraw the line? No, I do not. So what we're going to do is double click on the dimension and just change this to 1.5. Okay, and come over here and click on this one and change it to 1.5. You can either enter or hit the green check mark. All right, so that looks good. Now, for my handle, I want to have a rounded corner here, not a sharp corner like you see here. So I'm just zooming out. I'm going to go to fillet, and we're going to have a fillet here of, type in 0.375, and you click this line and this line, and then come over here and click this line and this line. Okay, and then we just close out the dialog box. So hit the X. All right, very good. Now, that was all fairly easy. And the rest of it is pretty easy as well, but this is where I may lose you, so please pay attention. I'm going to finish the sketch, zoom out here some. Okay, notice I'm in the isometric view. Mr. Morris likes to work in the isometric view. All right. Now, come over here to your browser. This is very important. I'm getting ready to tell you now. And I want you to expand this file folder here and cut. Now notice, I'm not clicking. I'm just highlighting each one of these. This is the YZ plane. This is the XZ plane and XY plane and so forth. I'm going to right click on this and turn on the visibility of it. So that's a plane. If I go back up here and move my view cube around a little bit, there is a plane now at the middle of our geometry. And I want to sketch on that plane right there. I want to sketch on it. So go to Start 2D Sketch, Start 2D Sketch, and click on this plane. Now, this is important, and sometimes this is hard to see. I wish it wasn't hard to see, but it is. Come up here on the menu and select Project Geometry, and then select Project Geometry again, and zoom in here, and I want you to click on this line right here. When you do, you can barely see it, but there's a little yellow dot. It is so hard to see. Mr. Morris can see it because I know it's supposed to be there, but it is very hard. There's a little yellow dot here. What happens is it projects the line onto the plane as a point. It projects the line onto the plane as a point. I'm going to go to Circle, Circle Center Point. Now watch. Now see, if I move my cursor over there, you will see a green dot appears. Once that green dot appears, click, and we're going to drag out a diameter. And this diameter here is now you can put in a fraction. Type in 5 divided by 16 if you want to, and that's 0.3125. Okay, hit enter. Do a right click. Okay. All right, so you notice I put in a fraction. You don't have to put in a decimal. You can put in a fraction if you know the fraction. We're going to select Finish Sketch and come up here to Sweep. When you click on the Sweep icon here, this dialog box opens up, and notice that your cross section right here highlights for you automatically. If it doesn't, go ahead and make sure you select it, okay? Now it wants to know right here, you see in red, it wants us to select a path. It's already chosen the cross section for us. It did that for us automatically, but if it doesn't, just go in there and select it. Now we have to choose the path. So we're going to come in here and click on this and select OK. All right. Now, isn't that nice? We are getting somewhere here. Now, we no longer need this plane because we've already done our sweep. All right. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to right click where it says the YZ plane, turn off the visibility. All right. Now, so there's our handle so far, but we need to put some threaded studs on the ends of this handle. We need to put some threaded studs on the end of this handle, okay, on the ends. So what I want to do is I want you to orient your view so it looks like this. Okay, orient your view so it looks like this. Go to Start 2D Sketch, Start 2D Sketch, click on this. We want to click on this surface right here. Okay. Now, we can zoom in if you want to, and go to Circle, Circle Center Point, and you're going to click right there at that intersection right there. Click, and you're going to drag out a circle. We're going to make this circle 0.25. Enter. Do a right click with your mouse, select OK. Finish your sketch and go to Extrude. And notice it's going to automatically select the last feature that we sketched, which is a circle. And The distance is 1 inch, and that is fine for what we're doing. We're going to make it 1 inch. So select OK. All right. Now we're going to zoom out some. And we're going to do the same thing now on this one. We're going to start a sketch on this end here. All right. Let me undo that one more time. So go to Start 2D Sketch, Start 2D Sketch, and select this surface. All right. Now what we're going to do here, watch carefully, we're going to go to Circle, Circle Center Point, zoom in with your scroll wheel. You're going to click. You'll feel it snap to that point. Click, and we're going to drag out a circle, which is 0.25. All right. Do a right click. OK. All right. You can zoom back out some if you want to. Finish sketch. So select Finish Sketch. Go to Sweep. And, oops, I'm so sorry. I didn't want you to go to Sweep. I want you to go to Extrude. Sorry about that. So we'll hit Undo. All right. And Finish Sketch. And this time select Sweep, Extrude. Mr. Morris wants to keep doing sweeps for some reason. Make sure that's 1 inch, the distance, and select OK. All right, so we're getting somewhere with our handle. Sorry for the confusion there. All right. So there you go. Now we want to put threads on these studs here. So go to where it says Thread here. Click on Thread, and then hover over this stud and click. And, you know, I think a 1/4 is fine. It says there's a 1/4 inch diameter, 20 threads per inch. So this is the major diameter, 20 threads per inch is the pitch, and it's a coarse thread, Unified National Coarse Thread. All right, so that's the thread here. And we're going to click on this one here just a minute. Say OK. We're going to repeat that. Watch. Click on Thread. Select this face. Again, it's a 1/4. Now you can change that to a different thread size, but I said go ahead and leave it at a 1/4 for right now. That was fine. Select OK. All right, now we have some threads. Now we're not quite done yet. I want to put a chamfered edge right here on this edge, and also one on here on this edge here as well. All right, so go to chamfer, and we're going to click on this edge right here, and that's fairly large chamfer. We're going to make ours 0.032. 32 thousandths is what we're going to make our chamfer. That's our chamfer distance, okay? So 32 thousandths. Select OK. Come over here, chamfer, click on this edge. We don't have to change it this time. It's going to stay the same until you make it another change. Select OK. All right. Now, so we've done our sweep. We did some extrusions here. We added some threads, and then we added chamfers. Okay. The purpose of the chamfer is to help the nut get started if you're going to have nuts to secure this to your drawer. So this is a handle of some sort. It can be used for a drawer, or a pull handle, a door, a cabinet door or something. Now we need to change the material of this. So come over here on the browser and right click where it says Part 1. Go to iProperties. Come to Physical here. Select the Physical tab. And right here, the material. Mr. Morris chose, what did I choose? I think I chose mild steel. So select a mild steel here, apply, and close. And see how nice that looks? Okay, so that's good. Now, we need to save this. We haven't saved it yet, and normally I would save much earlier than what we have at this time. So go to File. Oops, sorry. Go to File, Save As, and we're going to save this as Handle dash 1. Make sure you're saving it in a directory that's, in my case, I'm going to save it in a different directory here. So hang on just a second. Inventor, CAD 241 Morse. All right. So I have a handle here. I'm going to call this handle 1. Okay. Save. You say yes. All right. Now, I had to say yes because I switched to a different project, but you shouldn't have to. You just do a save. It should be okay. It will be in your current project. I'll show you how to create a project soon. We haven't done that yet. But anyway, this is our handle, and now we need to make a drawing of this. Okay, so this file and save it one more time. We know it's saved. Go to File, New, and select English. And we're going to select ANSI IDW file here and create. I don't want to use this size paper. This says it's a size D right here. Come over to your browser, right click on sheet 1 and say edit sheet, and click on this down arrow and select size A. And we're actually going to do landscape this time instead of portrait. Most of the stuff I do is portrait, but we're going to do landscape and select OK. All right, now we're going to place our view. So go to base, and you will see that our view appears here. Now I'm going to change the scale of this. Right now the scale is 1/2. I'm going to change it to 0.75. Select OK. And I'm going to move this over here a little bit like this. And then I'm also going to create a projected isometric view. I'm going to click on this. See the red box appear? When you hover near it, do a click and move your mouse over. You got to move it upward like the 1 o'clock position. Click, right click, create. All right. Now you can move this around as well. Let's go ahead and shade this. So right click, edit the view right here, edit view. Come over here to where it says style. Select this icon here, shaded, and select OK. I always like for you to shade your isometrics when possible. And sometimes we don't do that though when we get into section views. All right, now I want to put, Mr. Morris is a stickler for the center lines. Don't forget the center lines. Come up here to annotate and go here to the center lines. There's quite a few to choose from. Choose this one called Centerline Bisector, and we're going to click here and here and here and here and here and here. All right. Right click and just select cancel. Now we can zoom in here. Look, I'm going to show you what to do. If you move your cursor over top of your center line, there's these little green, these are called grips. Hold your left mouse button down on that grip and you can pull it down like this. Okay, so I'm essentially stretching the center line. Do the same thing over here. Move your mouse over the center line and pull down on the grip. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to stretch these, hold the left mouse button down, pull on the grip. Okay. That's all I'm doing here. Hold the left mouse button down and pull. All right. Now, we also have, if you go back to the bisector center line, click here, those curves there. So we have the center line for the arcs. Okay. Now, we want to dimension this. All right. So here's our dimensioning tool. Click on this, and I'm going to click on this point and drag down my dimension about right here. Click, and just say OK. I'm going to go to the dimension tool again, and I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to click on this point, zoom out a little bit, click on this point, and I'm going to move my dimension about right there. Select OK. Go to dimension. I'm going to select this point here and this point. Now watch. It will kind of snap. These arrows, you want them to line up. You don't want it to be here. You don't want it to be here. You want to line them up. Okay. So if you take your cursor and come down and touch off on this dimension, come back up, it should line it up. Click. Select OK. All right. We have just a few more dimensions to add. We have to add the radius of this arc here. So go to dimension, click on this arc, and pull this out here. See that? Watch again. I'm gonna hit my escape button and do it again for you. Go to dimension. See how that little circle appears by my arrow? That means it's an arc. Click. And we're going to drag an arc about right there. That's good. Select OK. All right. Now we have some threads here. The beauty here is all you have to go and do is select this note here, hole and thread. Click on this. Zoom in. Click on this edge. And you're going to drag out the thread nomenclature. Click with the left mouse button. Right click, OK. Now what does this mean again? It means 1/4 inch. The diameter of this, the threaded part is 1/4. From here to here is 1/4. OK. We have 20 threads per inch. So we exactly have 20 threads from here to here. 20 threads. You don't see them here, but you do see them here. Okay, you could count those if you wanted to. Unified National Course thread, and it's the fit is 2, and A means it's external thread. If that was a B, it would be internal threads, like on a nut, for example. Okay, and now we're going to add another dimension here. Click here, here. This is our diameter. Notice our diameter symbol. Click OK. Notice our diameter symbol is right here. All right. All right. I'm going to do a right click OK. Now, if you move your mouse near your geometry, the red rectangle will appear. Hold down your left mouse button and you can drag this over something like that. You want to make it, you want to space it out nicely on your drawing, okay? Now I want to put my view labels. My view labels, go to text. Come down here below this handle and I'm going to type in here front view, okay, and I'm going to highlight that, make it bold, underline, select OK. Right click OK. I'm going to Do that again over here. Select text. Click with my left mouse button, and I'm going to type in ISO view. Now this is just like using Word. I'm going to highlight this, make it bold, underline, select OK. Right click, OK. All right. Now I'm going to put some notes up here. Go to text. I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to type in this note. Use sweep feature to create the handle shown. All right. Select OK. So that's a note you can put on your drawing. Do a right click, OK. All right. So we have it done now. What we need to do is we need to add information to our title block. So this is kind of review here, but it's necessary to do every time. All right. So we're going to go up here. We're going to right click on this on the browser where it says handle one and go to iProperties and go to summary. The summary, the title is going to be handle, and the subject is going to be CAD 241, and the author, this would be your name, but I'm me and you are you, right? So I'm going to type in Morse because I'm the one that created this, but you would type in your name there, your last name, and manager is Morse, and company is Thomas Nelson Community College. Now this line here, you can put other things in here if you want to, but it's not going to show up on your title block. So I'm not going to put anything in here. You could put some descriptions. You could say learn how to create a sweep feature. But that's not going to show up, okay? Go to project, next, come down here where it says designer. You're the one that designed this, put your last name. For engineer, put your last name. For authority, put my last name. Okay, I think that's good for this one. Go to status, checked by you. Okay, click on the date. Engineer approved by Mr. Morris. If we were going to make this on a 3D printer or something, you would have to check these off. And manufacturer approved by Morris, because before you make it, I'm going to make sure it's okay. So it should be checked by you, engineer approved by me, manufacturing approved by Mr. Morris. If we were going to make it apply, close. All right, now we haven't saved this in a while. Go to File, Save. Click on Save. Now you can see all our information now is filled out on the title block. All right, now let me show you how to print this. If you want to print a hard copy, but actually what I want you to do is submit a PDF to me. So I'm going to go to File, and we're going to export as a PDF. And I'm going to make sure I put it in the right place for Mr. Morris. You can see I already had one already, so save. So if I come down here and look up that file I just saved, right? Here it is right here. Here's the PDF of that handle. All right. Okay. Now, you can print this out if you wish. Now, if you were going to print this out, if you were going to print out the IDW, and this is the IPT file, and it's not a bad habit to export this file and export this as an image, and you can save it as a PNG. Okay, save. All right, so you have a picture of this. You can send to me if you want to, and you have your PDF. Now, last thing, I want to show you how to print this out. Go to File, Print. Now you have to be careful when you print things out because sometimes it's not, the orientation is not correct. And let me show you what I mean. Let's just say you select Best Fit, Preview. Now that turned out fine. That's beautiful here. But what if it looked like this? I'm going to close this. Don't print it out. What if it looked like this? File, Print, and what if your preview looked like this? How would you fix this? Because you don't want, this is a very wide margin here, and so is this one. This is very narrow. You want it to be uniform all the way around, right? So you close this and File, Print, and we make sure this is not turned on. So you have to play with the rotate by 90 degrees if you see that happen. So sometimes it's perfect, sometimes it may not be. If it's not, just rotate it until it fits perfectly. Best fit preview, that's beautiful. Okay, so I will just hit the print button here and continue and say okay. I'm not gonna okay this because I don't want to print it out here at my house, but that's where you would print okay. All right. Now that completes this lecture. I have one other short lecture for you here soon. So I'm going to stop this recording. Thank you so much. Have a good day.